These are gold ducats out of what's now the Netherlands. These were the United Provinces. And they started hammering these out in about the same style, same weight, same fineness in 1586, I believe. And we got one here from 1587. This one's from Holland. And so, up here at this part here, they usually put something to designate which province they're from. And as I understand it, this is before the Dutch East India Company, the United Dutch East India Company, had been put together. I think that was 1602, but they were still trading. They were still going out. This is when they're starting to challenge the Portuguese and the Spanish, and stealing some of their boats too. Of course, around the same time that their Protestant buddies over in England were doing that also. There's Sir Francis Drake working for Queen Elizabeth I, and this is very close to the time that the Spanish Armada comes in and gets sunk in the Channel by Queen Elizabeth's English boats. And so these are kind of the young, up-and-coming Protestant rebellious type guys, and they're challenging the Spanish and the Portuguese, who've been going over the New World, South America, Mexico, getting the gold and the silver for almost 100 years at this point. I believe it's in the 1520s that Pizarro takes out Peru and the Incas, and it's even before that Cortez knocks out Montezuma in Mexico and the Aztecs. And those guys just coincidentally had been worshiping the sun and the moon as gods, and considered the gold and the silver to be, I believe, the tears and the sweat of the gods. And so they just had tons of basically almost pure gold, ornamentation, huge plates of gold. That was really convenient for when the Spanish and the Portuguese showed up, and we're like, oh, that's money. So this is the earliest one I've got, and from what I understand, getting the 1586 is substantially tougher. On the back here, they've got this little abbreviated text, which I believe it's money under the ordinance of the province, something about Belgium, so the southern provinces ended up becoming what we call Belgium. They were Catholic. They stayed loyal to the Spanish, and as you might remember, they had a 70 years war, or is it 80 years? Can't remember, but long war, independence. The Dutch were trying to get out from under the Spanish crown. And the Spanish crown wasn't just the Spanish crown. Actually, the Portuguese and the Spanish crowns ended up uniting, and they owned a bunch of other stuff too. Ended up being the Habsburgs. So at this time, I think it was King Philip, and he's the guy who almost dated Queen Elizabeth I, but then ended up sending his boats up. So there you go. It's a nice 1587. And as you may have seen, I've got other ones that are in the cases, but these are all raw, and we can look at them nicely and turn them around in the sun. 1648. I've got a better one of these in the case, but who's to say what's better? Maybe it's better to be out of the case here, because we can get a good look at it. Utrecht province, that's what the TRA and the little shield thing there is. He's got the ruff, around the neck. This is after Shakespeare time, but they're still dressing that way. And so this is going to be the same style no matter where they're from, pretty much, for a long time coming. The bundle of arrows, which I believe represents the unity of these provinces. By 1648, 1648 is the year of the Peace of Westphalia. And coincidentally also, I believe, the end of the War of Independence. They reached some sort of agreement with the Spanish. So this one's kind of worn down. I think it's attractive to look at. Who knows if something is clipped off. You see it looks kind of like there's some straight edges there, and you don't see the beading that's around the rest of the edge. Not sure. This one's actually for sale on eBay. And these would have been possibly showing up in New York because from early 1600s until the English took it. New York was New Netherlands. And guys like Roosevelt, both of our presidents, Roosevelt, they're Dutch. Dutch ancestry. Roosevelt is that kind of name. Same legend on the back here, as you can see. This one, I got this very recently. You cannot really see the O there, but that's actually a 1650. Let's see if we can manipulate that in the sunlight to be able to see. No, not really, but this is struck in 1650. Except for the fact that that O is pretty much invisible. This one looks to be in real nice condition, and I don't know if you can tell, there's got a little bit of orange tint, a little orange glow up there. It's a floor cleaning solution too, orange glow. And you can see, he's not smiling. He looks tough. Same legend there on the back. Some light scratches, it looks like, going across the back, but not anything too bad. Nice detail on that guy's helmet too. I got this one real recently too. This is 1658, and unlike the other one, or similar to the other one, now we got both the numbers on this side real clear, but the 1 in the 16 is a little worn off. And as you turn this around in the light, you can again see unfortunate little scratches going on there. This guy has less detail in his head and in the helmet, but overall still pretty nice. Utrecht again. And once again, nothing different going on in the back. I have a bunch of 1700s ones. They all got holes in them, or they're in cases. There's, of course, very popular and common ones in nice condition from 1724 and 1729, when 2 ships full of these in mint condition went down. I got a nice 1776, which is popular because of the Declaration of Independence. And that looks pretty much like this, as does I have a nice 1769 in good condition. Those are stuck in the plastic cases. So here we got 1803 from Batavia. It says Utrecht up there, but I understand that Jakarta, Indonesia, which was their trading empire's capital, they called Batavia. It's my understanding that's where this is actually from. So it's 1803. I know we jumped up ahead a lot. Look at that. Nothing new. Here we got another very common date, 1928. So we just jumped another 100 years into the future. And, the night looks a little more lean. The coin's obviously not hammered out anymore. More uniform, nice. Little caudicus or whatever up there. See, things have not changed. These guys have conserved their design. And finally, they're still making them. They just came out with a slightly revised version in 2018. But this one, I believe, was popular. It marked the 400-year anniversary, cranking these out, 1986, so 1586 through 1986. And now, of course, it's got a nice proof mirror finish. Same deal, right? You can get these pretty much every year going up to the present. Thanks for watching.